Hello, hola, hola. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to the Culinary Business Network presented by Feed the Soul Foundation, the only membership network where you can connect, learn, and grow all at your fingertips. I'm your host, Karina Fernandez, Program Director of Feed the Soul Foundation, and this is our fourth Mastermind session. And today's conversation, we are diving into a powerful story of legacy and resilience. And we are so honored to be joined Nayomie Mendoza. She is the second generation owner of Cuernavaca Grill in downtown Los Angeles.
So Cuernavacas Grill just turned 20 years.
Oh, woo, woo, 20 years. That's 2 decades, girl. That's as old as I am. No, just kidding.
I came into ownership almost 6 years ago, I believe.
Okay.
Um, and I did not know what I was getting myself into. I saw my parents lead. I saw them do it all, and I saw them do it very, resiliently because I always thought that, like, I knew there was some sort of, challenge to it, but I just didn't think of like the extremities of it. So when I came in, I was literally about to turn 21, 2 weeks away from turning 21. I was in for a rude awakening. This is
Okay.
a year into ownership, COVID happens.
Yes. Oh,
So, yeah, when it came to, like, federal funding, I did not qualify because I needed to have 2 years under my belt, which I did not have. So I didn't receive any grants or, like, EIDL or PPP, and by the
oh
time
no.
yeah, so I was just like, "You know what?" Like, I always thrive under adversity,
Hey,
I
hey, hey. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I'm, like, such a masochist for this, but when adversity happens, I'm like, "I'm gonna come out better." Like, it's
Well, speaking of these times, we know right now your community is really being affected by these ICE raids, right? I mean, we'll be fully transparent.
last week, it was 5 times in 1 week. I was like, "That's more than, half of the week."
So
Um,
this,
our community always comes through again, like,
right.
I'm a masochist who thrives under adversity, so, um but, um, I never thought that it would have the effect that it did. A lot of our neighbors, had workers that were taken. A
Mhm.
lot of people, they were taken in, the bus stop. Our mayor got in. The rates were happening so bad, like back to back, like every day. Like, at least with LA, we'd be like, okay, they came today and they're not gonna come back, right?
Right.
But with Bell, it was just like back to back to back to the point where like everyone was just fed up. And like the fire department got involved and the LAP, like the Bell Police Department got involved. The city officials got and they were just fighting ICE physically. Business just has not been the same. I was just like, I've never seen, such low numbers in my life.
Did you have, protocols in place? Were you prepared? Was your staff prepared
We
for
were not.
something like this? Okay.
Yeah, we were not prepared. Well, maybe we were, but it's just such a different time. Earlier this year when the raids were happening, I feel like the agents were a little bit more respective when it came to exercising your rights. They're like, if you had the card and you actually like studied it, like you could exercise it a little bit more. But now, like, it doesn't matter if you're a US citizen, like it
Hmm.
depends on the age, and so we weren't ready. I feel like it all depends. You don't know when they're
Mm.
going to come. Just 2 mornings ago, I was at the gas station and ran into ICE, and, like, who would have thought that this would be 2025?
Mm.
But yeah, like, we do have, like, our signs, and, um, the time that we were raided, like, they didn't care about the sign. Yeah, I mean, it feels very invasive. When they came in, they went through everything, and I was just like, there was no need for that.
But
Yeah.
what do you do now? What's
Mm.
the plan for the next time for you?
Yeah, as like misogynistic as this sounds, I was like, this only happened because I'm a woman. Because the next
Oh,
time we were rated, um, my manager was there, and I was like, and he looks, more Latino than I do, and they respected him.
wow.
I was just like,
Wow.
it depends on the age. It's just a very, very scary time to be living in right now. In regards to protocol now, like I'm just like, definitely always have a man in the front. And
Got it.
I've been trying to put more signs more than ever and point camera like we pointed the cameras that direction now
That's
and
a good one.
um, yeah, so we've been doing that and I'm like that's in regards to like my staff, right?
Mhm.
My also biggest fear is customers.
Okay.
Um, I'm just like, okay, like my staff is compliant, like we are fine now. Um, but customers, like it's a predominantly Latino environment.
Mm,
You
neighborhood,
know,
mhm, or your
even
clientele is predominantly Latino.
go to the fashion district when they miss home,
Mm,
and that breaks my heart. Like there's only I was like I literally just feel like my hands are tied. LA as a community, we've been through so much. We talk about the pandemic, and
mhm,
a lot of people think, "Oh my gosh, pandemic's over." No, like it's actually worse now. Like decline of surplus,
right,
inflation. About the workers' wage spike here in LA that they were
right,
trying to
and
get us to comply with.
then you had the LA fires,
Yeah.
deal with that, there's still
Yeah,
the
yeah,
aftershock of
SAG, like and even when it was SAG, even, like, when it was the fires, like, we immediately knew, like, we are going to help our community, we are gonna carry our community through, but
right,
now there's only, like, so much that we can do. Earlier this year, we could have educated people, be like, "These are your rights, and,
mm,
carry this card," and, but now it's like, how can you exercise them?
you're right.
It really all depends, but, yeah, like, as a business owner, I've probably been going to, like, every, like, meeting, seeing any new, like, protocols, trying to learn any new tips, a group chat with, other business owners, checking
Mhm,
in on everyone for, like, "How's your mental health doing?" Yes, like,
right,
"Are you safe?" But also, like, sales are not
right,
good,
right,
and a lot of, my friends, like, they have really, really viral and sustainable restaurants, and even they say, like, "We've never ever seen such a thing." I definitely did not think that I would be navigating this in my 20s. What can we do, to
right,
help? And yeah, so, like, every week, it's probably, like, a new meeting, a new protocol, trying to stay updated, trying to see what we can do, trying to stay updated on the map, checking in with
mm,
our team who, is probably going through fear as well, but fighting that because they
right,
do have to bring back food to their family's table. These past few weeks have been so insane to the point where like you just see like everything rotting and business
mm,
owners um
I saw
being,
that.
yeah, like them being so excited when you were buying like the other day we had a really big catering event with the government and they were so excited when we just bought like a bunch of avocados for guacamole, and
Mm,
I was like, "Dang!" Like that we used to just buy that on a frequent basis, and like it. I feel like it's shaken everyone up, and
mhm,
even us. Like, I mean, I'll be transparent. The other day, the lowest number that we saw was $9 from
mm,
a 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. day. And we were talking about it as neighbors, and my neighbor was like, "Well, at least you had a cell. I had
mm,
nothing.
mm.
Like, I had absolutely nothing." Um, so it breaks my heart. It is affecting us. It's also affecting, the way we speak about it. Like, okay, like if you do post against, like, will
Mm.
they go for your business? Like, will you be a target? There's so many layers that come with that.
We might not live in the same city as you, but what can we do for you all in terms of how can we help?
I would say just staying like updated. And I feel like the protocols are changing even by the hour sometimes.
Right.
Um, I would say just to keep like open resources, whether it's like posting in a group like, okay, like there's this new map or like there's this new protocol or like, oh, by the way, leadership just spoke and these are the changes that are going to come. I feel
Right.
like as small business owners, I mean, I'm very grateful that I do have my family, but I'm
Right.
like I could scope and read a little bit more and like connect with business owners, but I know that that's not the case for like a lot of people also because again, as Latinos, we are the backbone of the
This
industry.
industry.
A
Yep.
lot of, workers aren't working anymore. So that leaves like us as small business owners at the forefront. And I was like, imagine the restaurants that were barely getting by.
By
So
already.
there's restaurant owners that don't have the time that are doing everything because maybe their entire staff was scared or like, are now juggling 15 more things where they had their team do that in the past month or so because
Right.
this just came out of nowhere, right? So yeah, like I would just say, resources, staying, connected, up to date, masterminds like this, whatever you guys can do to just bring awareness, or like if there's we have a mastermind and like let's say like 2 days later, like it the protocol changes, like definitely like updating it and just like
Right.
keeping everyone, in check-ins, for
Right.
sure. I was like, thank God I am in, the fashion district where like every business owner is very, very close and um, we do those like mental health check-ins. Oh, like do you need
Okay.
any do you want to cry about it or like
Right.
we'll cry together. But I know that there's so many people that don't have,
Have that.
that
Yeah.
support. So yeah, like little things like that definitely go a long way. So at the beginning of the year, we were at 40. Um, and right now, on a good few days, we're at like almost 20, almost 20. And that's including me and my sister. So it's been a lot. We were used to, having a full dining room where everything is made from scratch, right? So you
Right.
do need big staff,
Right.
um, but it's just been
So
insane,
almost 50% of your staff.
and the only reason why we still have, the staff that we have is because we do have government contracts that are keeping us
Right.
going. But
Right.
I was like,
Right.
but if like we didn't, I
What
fear
would
that it probably would have just been maybe like 8.
mm, Another way that we can help you or that our community can help is, order online.
Oh yeah.
Yes, place your order, takeout, dine-in, delivery.
Of advice because this has carried us through. So a lot of these factories, they're like, hey, by the way, we have like 50 employees, we have 60. Can you deliver from Monday through like Friday? Like that's something like steady. So I would say definitely catering. I know for us that's what we're doing. That transaction might pay the rent for someone.
How has your, because we tell business owners, we talk about this all the time, is building relationships not only with your visitors bureau but also your consulates, your chambers of commerce, right? When you're going through chaotic or uncertain times, right? Some of these relationships and creating this ecosystem of support can really help your business and, like you said, and help you not feel alone in this time, in these uncertain times, right? How has this relationship helped you right now in these moments?
It's definitely educated me a lot because sometimes, the consulates get the news before the public does.
Got it.
Also, I I knew that like for example, in comparison to the last raids earlier this year, I knew that we had obviously rights as like business owners.
Mhm.
Um, with the consulate, I feel like they're very proactive when it comes to, protocol changes, especially when it like, when you employ, people with visas or whether they came in with the like even a visa, everyone everyone's situation is different. I mean, we had 3 workers that came on asylum, and they were in process. And, they've been with us for 5 years now. They were in process, and they thought, "Oh my gosh, this is the year." They had already been approved, and, in the midst of, like, one of, like, the raids, like, later that night, they're like, "Oh, well, we got a letter that we have to self-deport."
Deport. Ugh.
Yeah. So, when it comes to situations like that, like, I was able to call the consulate, and they were able to best guide me in what to do, because I don't know what to do, like, that
Right.
it's
Like,
gibberish.
how do we expect a business owner to navigate their business, plus immigration law, plus this, plus that? Like, it's impossible.
Okay, now residents aren't safe. Okay, now you can't leave the state. Okay, like, it's a lot. So, these relationships with the consulate definitely, like, help get a little bit
Mhm.
more insight, and if they don't have something, they will connect you with someone in their or the right department.
Uh,
Um,
right.
yeah, I know for us, like, there was another case where, like, they were approved, but the green card was taking forever.
Mhm.
So, they were able to, you know the consulate has, like, months and months worth of waits for, like, appointments and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but they were like, because I called them directly, and we've collaborated and sponsored, like, so many events, we were able to get, that team member an appointment the very next morning and have all of that
Oh,
resolved.
wow.
So, it plays a big role. I always say, networking is like my unpaid job, side gig, but in situations like these, they're very, very vital, and you never know.
If someone could have helped you prepare for this, what would you have wanted them to tell you?
I would have wanted them to tell me to educate myself as much as I could. One thing that this industry has taught me is that in order to succeed in this, or in life in general, right? Um, you have to be flexible. You have to be adaptable. And I feel like the reason why, like, we're able to do what we do is, like, one, we enjoy each other, and we have, like, it doesn't matter, like, how big, like, the problem is. We always look at, the outcome that
Right.
is, like, in the very near future, but we are, like, all the trait that we all share is that we're adaptable. Like, it doesn't matter, like, COVID, SAG, like, anything, we were able to adapt, and my dad always just tells us, like, "You never stop learning." Last September was the biggest month of my life, and I was, taking classes at USC, and
Wow.
working on my government certifications with 3 other cohorts, and then I
Mm.
was, like, literally when I when I was on, Drew Barrymore, what a lot of people don't know is that when I was in the dressing room, I literally was in class with my Zoom on, and then I, like, did the interview, ran to the back, answered questions, and, like, it was insane.
And then I know you participate in one of our programs
Yeah,
too, and
I did.
wow.
So,
Wow.
the thing is, like, funny enough, like, like, during that time, I was prepping for government contracting certifications. When
Mm.
it came to the wildfires, they hired those who were certified. So who would have known? Like, I was one of the top that came out. So who would have known that, that little thing would have led so yeah, like, you never stop learning, you never stop being just be an adaptive person when it comes to life in general. For me, like, I am literally on TikTok, YouTube, all of these, like, Facebook groups, talking to new people, talking to, our councilmen and surrounding cities, and, the consulate. Like, I was like, I'm just being the biggest social butterfly right now, but any update, it will save you, it will save your community,
Yeah.
and yeah, like, my biggest piece of advice to anyone is, like, don't stop educating yourself and just be adaptable, we have a saying in, my family, um, we, like, put the letter E, and then my dad always says, like, "Okay, like, Naomi, like, you see E, but your sister is probably gonna see M, and I'm probably gonna see W, but we have to be adaptive in all of those situations because at the end of the day, like it's still a letter. It still has purpose.
How has
Oh,
that how has that chapter of growth helped you as a leader?
oh my
I
gosh.
mean,
So
these chapter of growing, right? Or this
mm,
concept of your business will only grow as much as you do.
yeah, so funny enough, I came into the restaurant industry. I had just gotten out of a long-term relationship and again, like I feel like as people, like we have, and this is just in life in general, we have the option to either bring out a very happy, beautiful consequence or stay there and mourn. So
Mm,
when I was literally mourning for like 3 days and I was like, what am I doing? Like, no. So then the opportunity presented itself and I told my dad, I was like, look, we're gonna do this, this and that. And you're gonna be here and you're gonna be, like recognized what you should have always been, right?
right.
And I was like, "And we're gonna make an impact on the community because I've been drowning here in my tears watching the Food Network, and I do not see a Latino on here." Um, so anytime I felt pain, I would just, invest it into Cuernavaca. That
Mm,
was definitely, like, my outlet, and I was signing up to all the cohorts, I was signing up to absolutely everything, I didn't know what to do, and I was like, "And I don't know how I'm gonna do it," but eventually they all flourished at the same time and are still flourishing now.
right.
So, yeah, like, I believe that the outcome depends on our decision, either you stay there and mourn, or you pick yourself up and you're like, "Okay, like, I wanna cry, but now's not the time.
Right.
Let's keep going."
Naomi, thank you for your transparency, your strength, for leading both with grit and with grace. Your story is really a reminder to all of us of those tough moments. And we find, in those tough moments that clarity and you've been fighting for this dream not only of your family but also of yourself, right? And to everyone here today, we hope that you walk away not only with some strategies, because this is ever changing, and you know even if we prepare, the reality will always be different. And getting a little bit of insight from Nayomie, I think would really benefit us all. And for your courage too, Nayomie, because being rated once is scary, twice, three times every day, that really takes a lot of courage and that emotional preparedness too, right? Because like you said, if a car break-in affects you so much, imagine someone coming into your business and treating you this way. It's not for the faint of heart. And so we admire you for going through this and coming out, like you said, always better on the other side. And this right here is the reason why we created this culinary business network, is to empower not only each other but others as well that might be going through something similar. And to those of you tuning in, please drop your comments or questions, and we'll try to answer them. So Nayomie, thank you again for sharing your awesome story. Any final thoughts, any final comments that you might want to share
Thank
with us?
you. Yeah, thank you and, your entire team. You guys have been such a rock to us through, like, Hispanic Heritage Month, through these new changes with the administration and even the wildfires. Like, I know that you guys aren't in LA, but we've felt your love from miles and miles away, and yeah, like, keep doing what you guys are doing. It's leaving a mark, and I know that this is gonna equip the community, just bring this closeness, and we're all gonna get through this together, and this is what we need. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Okay, and to our audience, again, thank you for watching. Next week, join us for our Let's Toast happy hour. Our guests will be the social media expert, Karen DeAmont of Social Behavior, along with Black Restaurant Week's managing partner, Derek Robinson. They'll be mixing up refreshing cocktails, and we'll talk everything industry. And of course, we'll always be celebrating you and your monthly wins. And if you haven't signed up yet for the Culinary Business Network, make sure that you sign up. The clicker's down below, as well as remember, for only $1 a day, you get all of this great programming. You get to connect with industry experts, learn from each other, and everything at your fingertips. So, and also remember, you are not alone in this journey, as Nayomie told you as well. We are here for you. We are an ecosystem of support. And when you thrive, we all thrive. So keep showing up with purpose, passion, and people first leadership. So we'll see you all soon.